Virgo 20, an automobile caravan. Now, of course, caravans are often associated with this single unit of accommodation, temporary accommodation, and you see them by the thousands going to the beaches in the summertime. I think also we need to remember that the word caravan takes us back to ancient days of a camel series going across the desert and forming a community as they travelled. And that sense of cooperation is indicated also within the concept of caravan. And that's what Rudhyar focuses on, the idea that we pull together towards a collective goal, a bunch of people all travelling in the same direction. In the Wild West they had these wagon trains, didn't they? They were caravans of a sort. And they would circle together and protect themselves from danger when the Indians were attacking, and they would help each other out. And when they travelled together, they were stronger and safer as a unit. So this is indicated whenever we can align our vision, our personal vision, with the collective vision of a group of people, then we gain great benefits, synergistic benefits accrue. And whenever you get to that level of personal development, that level of maturity, when you have a personal vision for how you want to shape your world and then the world, you will find you have to cooperate, and you have to cooperate with somebody whose vision aligns with yours. Even if it's paying somebody to do work for you, in their vision, they want to receive money, and you're able to give them money, even if it's just on that simple level. But on a higher level, when somebody has a creative vision that they want to enact in the world, and to do that they need a bit of help, and they need your help. But equally, as you help them, so your own vision expands. So there's this sense of merging visions in order to get this synergy that accrues when several people are working towards the same goal. It's not specifically mysterious when it comes to normal events. Very often we work as a group because we can't work and achieve very much alone. So we're encouraged to just be aware that when we're trying to act out, enact our own vision, what we want to happen in the world, it will become necessary for us to tune in to somebody else to find out what their vision is and what we can do to help it along in order for us to help our own vision along. So we come to understand that cooperation is self-serving, and service to other people is of benefit to us. This is part of the mystery of this one. Now, another implication within the idea of traveling by caravan is that you're traveling, you're going on an adventure. And Jones focuses more on this aspect, where he indicates that we require travel in order to open up consciousness. The development of consciousness depends upon the expansion of our experiences. If we experience the same thing again and again and again with no deepening occurring, then nothing can happen. Consciousness cannot evolve. So we do need to develop new awareness of whatever. We need to meet adventure. We need to meet experiences that we have not met before and respond to them, to meet people that we've never met and never imagined and respond to them and interact with them. And we know the feeling of this. Any of us who's done any travelling at all, beyond the level of package holidays when you're held in place by nursemaids. If we do any travel, we go through an experience of culture shock, where we just don't know. We don't know whether this food is okay to eat, whether it's safe to walk in that street at that time of day, whether we're going to get cheated in the bazaar. We just don't know these things. To some extent, we're in harm's way. And therefore, that culture shock experience, which is like a sudden expansion of alertness, You got to look around you and really take in all of the information and process it really quickly and respond in the moment to potential danger. Now, that is the edge, the pioneering edge of the development of consciousness, that feeling. It's not only limited to travel, it's also the case with knowledge, information. And where we meet that same pioneering edge of developing consciousness is to do with the assimilation of someone else's beliefs into our package of wisdom. We are given very, very clear statements of what is true by bigots and dogmatic people and teachers of religion and so on. And they know the case. You'll find born-again Christians do this very well. They know what Jesus wants of you, and they'll tell you. And there's no room for doubt. They give you the picture full and packaged. You have to know what to do with that, because not all of it is bigoted rubbish. Some of it actually contains a germ of wisdom and something that you need. And you have to experience life as that, a package of information coming to you, most of which, 99% almost of which, is real nonsense. It's dangerous too, because it can shape your mind in ways that really aren't helpful to you. But you need to pick out the 1% that's useful to you, or there will be no growth. Maybe 1% is a little bit tight, maybe it's 5%, but it ain't much more. So we have to go through the process of being awash with information from people that want you to believe what they believe, because it makes them feel safe. And within that, pick out that bit which you'll accept, and somehow find a way to reject the rest, which is going to feel like the person is being rejected, the person who's given you this bigoted view. So, processing new information is also, if you try and remember that, what it feels like to process information, it's a cousin of culture shock, isn't it? It feels very similar in some ways. It's not exactly close, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar. So we can know that consciousness is going through its exercise here. It's kind of looking up to see if it can actually claim another bit of knowledge gained from its new experience. Now, in respect of developing experience and knowledge, it has to be really understood that television and movies and technology in general, and internet even, despite all of their flaws, these devices of technology have provided us with a vast amount of information. And albeit experienced vicariously, we're not there in the movie, but we can actually understand a lot more about the world because of these programs we see, and because of the posts on Facebook and so on. And once again, we have the same phenomenon where we're given information, most of which is nonsense, some of which, though, is very expansive, consciousness expanding. And most particularly certain programs on television, like David Attenborough's series of nature programs, but even fiction. We learn a lot about modern events, current events, through fiction, because writers today of TV series and movies, they're very good. They do research what they're writing about, and they may not record it totally accurately, but they give you the impression of what it's like. I mean, how would I know what it's like to be a major drug dealer living in Colombia and ruling the country had I not seen Narcos on television? Or how would I know whether it's reasonable to assume that 150 years ago the scientists, or less time, like Einstein and Madame Curie and these people, what their social situation was like had I not seen other movies on television? It's taught me so much. So I think that as long as you're discriminating in what you watch, it's quite healthy to keep the stories flowing. Very likely that takes us back a very long period of time to when we were receiving stories around the campfire every night. It's good for us to pick up on stories. And that's a part of the caravan experience, isn't it? You travel in the daytime, but in the nighttime you listen. You listen to people entertaining you, and you pick up a lot of your understandings of life through these stories. And today's equivalent basically is television and cinema.